Sorry about that. Apparently my mic was set to a ridiculously high amount of output gain. So that opening, that little prelude there to the stream, very fucking loud. Hopefully I'm a bit better now. How's my sounding, Big Shark? What's the background music like? Is it too loud, not loud enough? Echo. It might be the audio from this camera. How's that? Right, fuck it, I'm just going with that. Is the echo gone? Is the music loud enough? Yeah, we're all good? Nice. What a fucking way to start a tribute to our beloved tree. Yeah, I got a Thriller playing down here. Just because why not? Let's put this here. There you go. Well. Yeah, so basically, yeah. Like, all jokes aside, I know I'm you know, I'm trying to put on a brave face, but I'm actually, I am devastated about that tree. Being from the northeast, that tree, like, I can't think of any, like, other than, like, the Angel of the North, like, that tree was probably the second best sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, if you don't know, because I know a lot of you are, like, American and all that, Hadrian's Wall is a famous piece of archaeology from the Roman times that stretches, like, right across the neck of England, if you will. And there's a little section of that about equidistant from each coast, where it sort of goes down in this little gap, and it's very picturesque. And there was a tree that grew in the centre of it, and it was, over the years, it became famous just for, like, beautiful, picturesque spot. The tree, about, I don't know, it's estimated to be like 200 to 300 years old. And it was just a really nice spot. It was like say, photographers loved it. Events were held around it. It was like a focal point for the area. People got engaged there. Proposals happened there. Ashes of relatives were scattered there. It just became one of those things where people would go. And then a few nights ago, in the early hours, someone took a chainsaw to it and cut it down. Now it wasn't pulled down. The chain just chainsawed it, cut it, and it fell where it was onto the wall, and then that was it. They got the fuck out of there, and it's like, why have you done this to our fucking tree? And then someone pretty sharpish. Someone was arrested, a 16-year-old lad. The police questioned him for a bit. Then he was released on bail, and then they got arrested this 60-year-old, and then this guy was like cooperating with them, and then now they think they've arrested another 60-year-old geezer. I don't know what's going on. I don't think they know who did it. I don't think they've got a fucking clue. I think a lot of fingers are being pointed in the area. This farmer didn't want people on his land, and this National Trust worker was held a grudge and all this sort of shit. But I don't know, man. It's fucked up. But even if they catch whoever fucking did it, and I hope they do, that tree's fucking gone. That's it. It's fucking toast. People are saying, like, oh, the stump's alive still, it'll regrow. It's like, yeah, what, in fucking 300 years? It ain't going to be like it was, you know what I mean? And people are saying, oh, put a sculpture up, put a sculpture up, or replant a new tree. You can do all that now. They have the technology. Take a tree that already exists, fully grown sycamore, and plant it there. It's like, no, it's not. You're missing the point. It was that tree that was special, right? and it's gone. I think you should leave the site empty as a fucking memorial. The gap at Sycamore Gap is now, you know what I mean? That's what I think anyway. Here I've got some images, look, there you go. So as you can see, on the left is how it was when it was extant. On the right is the morning after. It's a symbol. Big Shark says the tree is a symbol like the towers. Do you mean the Twin Towers? It is kind of like the Northeast's Twin Towers. In terms of significance and devastation. Nah, it's not really. I know what you mean, but it's not comparable. But although it is, I think there was talk of this person being charged on the terror charges, which is kind of interesting. Like we'll get him for terrorism. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it would be classed as terrorism because it's not really a political motive. It's just, well, anyway. So there you go. You can see what it was like and the fucking state that it's in now. Fucked up. Yeah, I've got some more pictures, I think. What's this? Oh, yeah. Just so you can get a sense of its majesty. Check that out. Just a little photo collage there. Destruction of a landmark. Yeah, it's barbaric when you think about it. All jokes aside, it's like why would you fucking cut that down? Like I couldn't even imagine it. Like I was thinking the other day, like, because it happened on a really stormy night. It was Storm Agnes had blown in, and when the news first hit that the tree was down, people were going, oh, it's fucking blown down or whatever. But then obviously it became apparent that it was fucking cut down. But I was just thinking, like, imagine like hauling your fucking chains, parking up, getting out with your chainsaw, walking up to that tree and just putting the blade next to it and going, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut this fucking tree down, and just doing it. Fuck's sake. Big Shark says it's destruction of a landmark, especially an iconic one. Yeah, it's like cultural destruction. Why is this fucking camera not focusing? It goes in focus if it's that fucking zoomed in. Stupid shit. Believe that. I mean, must really hated that tree. Well, it's just like I can't. What possible reason could you have other than like say it's some kind of farmer that was sick of tourists parking? Apparently, it was like there is a dedicated car park to get to it, but if it's overflowing, people would park and block land and entrance onto land and stuff. And it's like maybe someone's gone fucking get that tree, take that fucking tree down, like as if that was going to somehow stop the problems, because now apparently more people than ever are trying to get up to it now to pay the respects, show solidarity with the Sycamore. It's fucked up, that's all I'm saying. Just wiping away a tear there. Fuck man, yes. Did I not post that fucking link? Just posting some links, don't worry about it. But yeah, like, what a fucking shame. What a fucking shame. Yeah. And like, I mean, the remaining, you just saw the other picture, the rest of the tree is still there. They're taking clippings of it because they're thinking that they can maybe like, you know, take samples and saplings and all that sort of shit, and maybe they can regrow it or spread it to different parts of the country, which is a nice idea. Or like people are saying, make it into a bench or something. I don't know. It's kind of nice, like, I suppose, but it'll never be the same. It was quite the tourist site, right? Oh yeah. I mean, it was already like a pretty prominent location and like was visited frequently. But then back in the 90s, it was in that Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner film, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And he's there when Morgan Freeman and Kevin Costner are at that tree, and they walk along the wall and stuff. And it's quite a nice scene. Because they filmed quite a lot of that movie around here. They filmed all over. So it was extra famous because of that. But it's fucking gone now. Yeah. And I posted some on Twitter about Tolkien. If you know anything about Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, you know how much he fucking loved trees. It's like the worst thing that you can possibly do is to cut down a tree, a great tree especially. Like that's pretty much the foundation of all of the bad shit that happens in Middle Earth. Is like, you know, you've got fucking Melkor and Ungoliant, the twin trees of Valinor. They get destroyed. It's like trees are like a fucking huge deal in that mythology. And I think, you know, there is certainly something. I think we can all, as humans, we identify that kind of quality with great old trees. Certainly the English do. I know that much. But it's like I mean, all of the cultures, Yggdrasil, or however you pronounce it in the Norwegian, Norse cultures, great trees. But like cutting a massive redwood. Yeah, it wasn't a small fucking like. People were saying it doesn't look like some kid did it. It looks like a professional job. But I don't know. But yeah, Tolkien will be rolling in his grave. Tolkien. I think do I have any other pictures here? There you go. There's the fucking stump. Like they sprayed, they marked it out beforehand. Obviously, where the cut line was going to be, you can sort of see the white paint. I can't point, but you can see the white on the stump. There's a bit of white marking. That's where the you know what a chainsaw is. But yeah, I fucked up, and I was only there earlier this year. We were up that way, Northumberland, touring around. So when I posted that video from Cragside, you know, the house from Jurassic World, Lockwood Manor. So I was there. We took a detour to see it then, and it was like, and I was like, that tree ain't gonna last. But I was assuming it would get blown down in a storm because we've been having increasingly freak weather and storms. And I was something about when I saw it, I was like, that's not gonna fucking last. We need to go and see it. Obviously, luckily we did. And it has subsequently fucking come down, but not how I intended. Making it into a bench or museum ain't a bad approach. Yeah, I think they'll probably do something like that. People are like, erect a big sculpture. Nah, keep it simple. Leave the stump, and if it's going to grow into a bush, nice. The main body of the wood that you can see there, I think they should turn that into something. Just a little simple thing. Not. So people were doing designs like a big fucking hand, or like two hands that in the shape of a fucking, or like a sad, like a crying face. Like fuck off. That's too much, too cute, too twee. Something simple like I don't know. As long as it's made out of the original wood. But yeah, like fuck's sake. It's fucked up. Genuinely like sickening to think that someone could just I'm gonna cut this fucking tree down. You know what I mean? And like I was saying, if they do fucking find whoever did it, they need to fucking make an example out of this cunt, because it's if they treat it on purely just on the fact of it was vandalism, you're missing the point. It was more than fucking vandalism. It was fucking more than vandalism. That's what I'm saying. It was like you said, cultural fucking destruction. And there should be like, I don't know, what could they do? Some kind of fitting fucking punishment. I don't know. It's fucked up. But once their fucking name's out there, their lives are fucking ruined. Because the North remembers, you know what I'm saying? The North remembers, and we won't be fucking forgetting our tree anytime soon. So many designs like that. Yeah, if they're going to make some kind of fucking sculpture or bench or whatever, keep it simple. It's mainly the wood of the actual fallen tree that needs to be the focus, not some fancy design or anything like that. Aren't trees protected? I think it's just classed as somebody's property, isn't it, if you fuck with a tree. This tree in particular, I don't believe it had any other particular like rules or laws. I mean, it should have fucking done, because it's a particularly important tree. I mean, maybe there's like maybe because it almost falls into like you say, a cultural landmark. It's like if you damaged a monument or something, like if you graffitied a war memorial, that gets the extra time or whatever it gets you. It all factors into the punishment, doesn't it, I suppose? You should fucking bring back hanging. String him up. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, so there you go. Sycamore Gap. You gotta laugh, haven't you, to keep from crying. Let's go back big mode. Is that fucking... Oh, it is still going. There he is, look, little MJ. Can you see that? I just had the screen there and the VCR set up from when I was doing my little videos. And I thought I'd put a little video on, and it is the spook. We are now officially in October. It is the spooky season. Although for some people, the spooky season's year round. So there you go. Can't beat a bit of thriller. This is the original deal from like 1980 whatever. It's the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller. And it's like got all the interviews with Rick Baker, and it shows you how they rehearsed the dance, did the makeups and stuff. It's classic. John Landis was a bit of a cunt, I think, but there you go. Making Michael Jackson's Thriller as the full 40-minute film production of the werewolf, the werecat bit at the start. It's got all sorts of shit. Yeah, it has Beat It as well. Yeah, I remember that. Behind the scenes look, John Landis. Yeah. And it has some stuff with Vincent Price, so you can't, and it's in this fucking mint red. So cool. But when I was a kid and like seeing that, very, very influential on me seeing this and watching this. The zombies. Rick Baker talking about zombies. When Michael Jackson was still fucking good. Class. Making a Ghost, no. But I like Ghosts as well, Michael Jackson's Ghosts. Again, that was Stan Winston. I know that's clear. Yeah, this was Rick Baker's work. Stan Winston did Ghosts, and he directed it as well. I like Ghosts. It didn't quite live up to Thriller, but how could it? You know what I mean? With the werecat, so fucking cool. Genuinely scary. That there's like the shots when it's coming towards the camera like that. Fuck yes. And you got the Vincent Price rap, of course. Can't beat a bit of Vincent Price. Darkness falls across the land. See, when you think of Thriller, you get the music, you get the song, you get the costumes, you can see the dance. But when you think of Michael Jackson's Ghosts, the only thing I can think of is him doing them faces, like going and all that shit, like no makeup or nothing. Michael Jackson being weird in that one bit. It's like in that big white shirt. It is cool. I do like it. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something. But you can't really like. I can't even remember what the fucking song's like. Or there's no like the dance. I don't know. Like I say, it's still good. He's beat it. Look now. Now that's a fucking dance. That bit. Yes, man. Class. That's probably my favourite Michael Jackson song, Beat It. Some people think it was a paedophile. I don't know what's going on with the focus on this. Oh, that reminds me of something as well. In Disneyland Paris, which is the only fucking Disneyland I've ever been to, because of proximity, I suppose. I was reading the other day about like Michael Jackson used to visit it all the fucking time, and there was a suite in the Disneyland hotel. If you know anything about Jurassic, if you know anything about Disneyland Paris, the entrance to the park is a hotel that you can like stay in, which was something that they'd never done before apparently. It was like considered like straight, like people don't want to stay in the park, but it turned out that's literally exactly what they want to do. They want to hear the band rehearsing at midnight and stuff. I've been very lucky to stay in there myself, and it is, for someone who fucking is very cynical of the whole Disney thing, it is pretty fucking magical. You'll be like, fucking Disney. You walk in the doors like that, fucking Disney. Fuck off. Fucking Mickey Mouse and all that shit, and then you walk in the fucking foyer and it's like, this is class. This is amazing. I feel amazing. So, but in the top of the hotel with a big panoramic window looking out over the fucking castle in the park is the Michael Jackson suite. It's called the Sleeping Beauty suite, and it's basically the most expensive room in the hotel. It's like where all the fucking celebrities stay. If you Google Michael Jackson Disneyland Paris hotel or something, you'll see pictures of him in the room and stood in the balcony in his pajamas and stuff. It's fucking bizarre. And he's there with like Lisa Marie Presley and stuff, like after they just got married. Very, very weird, but you know what he's like. He used to, if he was on tour in Europe, he would go and stay at the hotel for like a week. And there's like a piano in there that he signed his name on. Apparently there's a part of the wall where like blanket, his kid had scratched it and they just left it. And you can still, if you had the money to go and fucking stay in there, it was like 5,000 euros a night. But you could stay in it and you could see this thing. You could see the bed that Michael Jackson slept in, and all that sort of stuff. If that's something that would appeal to you, in terms of like a historical thing, it's pretty cool. Even no matter what you think of the cunt, it's pretty cool to think. You know, anyway, if it was fucking anyone famous being in this room, like a big huge pop culture figure like a fucking Elvis or a Bowie or whoever the fuck. And then recently they closed down. Talk about loss of history. That's the theme of tonight, loss of cultural history. Disneyland Paris has been renovating the hotel over the past couple of years. They've finally revealed what it looks like on the inside, and they fucking gutted it. They fucking gutted it. The classic Victorian aesthetic of the Michael Jackson suite with the original piano that he signed. It has a full half dome in the ceiling that was hand painted with fucking classic Disney characters and a pale blue sky and clouds, all fucking erased, painted white with glass columns. It's now the Frozen suite. It's Elsa's magical frozen suite. So all that history, it was only around since 1992. However, all that history, all that beautiful classic, you know, artisanal sculptures and paintings and decor, all fucking gone. It is now the tacky as fuck Elsa's Frozen Castle suite, where you can see, you can be a frozen princess. You can see, what's that fucking, what's the snowman called? Frozen? Otis. Oglaf. Don't Google that. What's it? What is that fucking... Anyway, that little cunt's there in the corner. Fuck off, man. If they have to fucking tie everything to IP. Like... So I'm pissed off about that. Otis. It is called Otis. Fucking Josh Gad. Anything with any fucking, like, quality, they just rip it out. God, you should see it. I should do before and after, what it looked like in the 90s when Michael Jackson stayed there. What it looks like now, with fucking glass columns like you see in a fucking 80s nightclub. It's fucking unbelievable. Anyway, and that piano that was signed, fuck knows where that is. It'd be probably fucking lumber. It'd be fucking firewood. They broke it up to heat the fucking... fuel the fucking boilers. Anyway, and there was this ride as well. One of my favourite things at Disneyland Paris was it was called the Nautilus Experience. It wasn't a ride. The thing about the beauty of Paris, the Paris Park, was that it had all of these little weird hidden areas. That there was no ride. You could just walk through it. You go around the corner and you're in a fucking cave with a dragon, and it was like, this is fucking class. It wasn't tied to a fucking film. There was no point to it. Obviously, I'm sure the Imagineers were behind it all, fucking Tony Baxter and all that shit. But like, if you can imagine the suits, what's our financial return on this fucking dragon? Well, nothing. You just walk past it, so you can understand how they're not going to be here forever, I assume. Fucking, if they come for that dragon, I'm gonna bomb Disney. I'll bomb the place. Just a joke. But the Nautilus ride, you go underwater inside the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. A whole recreation of this steampunk Victorian Jules Verne submarine. It's fucking class. And like, there was an organ that was from the film. It had a big window that would open, and you'd see like real water outside with bubbles and seaweed and shit. And then eventually, every so often, it was on a timer. The fucking squid from the film would attack. This giant squid would like glom onto the window, and you'd see its beak snapping and shit. And then like you'd hear over the audio, like as if it was a radio communication, like Captain Nemo would be like, "Engage the shocking mechanisms on the vehicle doors." That's what he said. And then it would like spark up, and it would like go, and you'd see like the squid tentacles like do that, and then it would fucking squid away. All that's fucking gone. Now it's a fucking TV screen where a fucking dolphin swims past. Seriously? It's like they want to take out everything that could have ever had the chance of stoking a fucking kid's imagination. And like, wow. Now let's rip it all out and make it fucking Marvel. Fucking Iron Man's fucking grotto. Fucking Tony Stark. So I've lost the squid. I've lost the Michael Jackson suite. And I've lost me fucking tree. Finding Nemo now, I think, at Disney. There's a Finding Nemo ride that has submarines. That was in one of the parks, yeah. But like, to just, I don't know, I don't get it. It's like everything's being denuded of any fucking actual quality. and they're just trying to slap a fucking slap a superhero on it, slap a fucking. I mean, I don't even think those fucking Frozen films are that bad. Lost Captain EO, yeah, that's all fucking gone. Although we had that actually in the Paris park. They brought that back not that long ago, which was kind of weird because it was like, if you know Disneyland Paris, their version of Tomorrowland is called Discoveryland, and it's all French Jules Verne. So instead of it being like the future, it's like retro futurism. So it's sort of like you go into the future, but it's the past's vision, like Jules Verne, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Rocket to the Moon and all that shit. But then it would also have like Buzz Lightyear and fucking Captain EO. It's like, it's not really Jules Verne, but it works because it's about visions of the future, and that spans all time, doesn't it? Mission to Mars, Black Hole, yeah, all those like the really cool, interesting little stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong though, parts of that fucking park that needed updating. They had the Aerosmith ride and the Armageddon experience and stuff, like the film from the 90s, Armageddon, and I thought they were class, but some stuff has to go. Problem is they've leveled it all and made it the Marvel Avengers campus, and it's like Spider-Man walking around. I don't know. I just think more variety. Mr. Meme 99 is in the chat. He says real fucking sad. Yeah. I don't know what I think you're talking about. I think you're talking about the tree. But, yeah. Shit. Tomorrowland, yeah. That's just always, when I went as a kid to Disneyland, that was always the stuff that I liked the most, was like the weird little hidden areas that you weren't on the maps sort of thing. There was like, what's around this corner? And then you'd see like a cave, Davy Jones' locker, and there'd be a skeleton surrounded by treasure, and it's like, what, if you just look down there you can see like a skeleton. They put a skeleton with loads of treasure and jewels, and it was all lit up, and it was like, that's 99% of people aren't going to see that. Now that adds something to it. It's like the secretive discovery of it. That's pure fucking magic. It ain't gonna look good on a fucking Excel spreadsheet for some Disneyland executive. Bob Iger's is going to be like, how are we making money on this fucking, you know what I mean? Mr. Meme was talking about the tree. Mr. Meme? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Big Shark says, ever go to Disneyland Cali? Or Michael Eisner attempted Disney World 2.0 Paris. Ever go to Disneyland California? Or Michael Eisner attempted? No, I've never been to any of the parks. I don't really have. I mean, if I was out that way, I probably would. I wouldn't make a trip specifically to go. I don't really care. It'd be cool to see like the original one, because that was like that was the one that Walt actually fucking had his hands on, didn't he? So that could be kind of cool. But other than that, it's all, like I say, it's all, a lot of the cool shit has been peeled off it, and it's just replaced. Like it's denuded of any artistry and any actual quality and good stuff, mostly. Disneyland Cali, yeah, the Anaheim bar. Fuck it. It's all gone now. It's all over with now. They've taken our tree. They've taken our Disneyland park. They've taken our childhoods. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm not really like that. I'm actually pretty optimistic about stuff, but for the sake of comedy, it's, you know, it's funny to be it's funny to whinge, isn't it? Right, I'm gonna be right back. So it'll be 2 seconds. I'm gonna get a refill, I think. So bear with me. Be right back. Okay. Alright, people. Big Chuck, do you know how to do, maybe not. I was going to say post a link to the Discord, but, you know, like an invite that you can post as a link to people, but I'm thinking maybe we shouldn't do that. Not quite yet. Let's see what you've been talking about. Most of the parks are just safe IPs like Marvel and shit. Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that. The fuck is this? How long's that been there? You can't deny that they have appeal and that the kids like all that stuff, the superheroes. I'm just saying that they're all wrong. They don't know what they're missing. Completely phased out Walt too. What? I thought they were all about him. Although that scans to what I've just been saying, because that Disneyland hotel that I was telling you about, it had about 4 rooms that were called the Walt Disney Suites, and they were just slightly better than the rest of the rooms. But they had his name on them, and now they've changed it. They're not called that now. They're called like Castle Club or something else. So there you go. They are removing him. Maybe it's because people think he's like anti-Semitic or something. I don't know. I've never looked into any of that. Nameplates and statues. But besides that, he's basically written out. How the fuck do you? The name is Disney. It's gonna. You can't really screw all fucking references to the man, can you? You can't even mention the guy who literally built the company. Why not? Why have they got such a distaste for him? It's appropriate music there, isn't it? Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the Walt Disney Company. And why? I mean, that company's they've got a lot of issues. I know they're fucked up. I remember there's a funny story about they used to, within like the staff of the company, this is back in like the 80s or whatever, because of the extremely like authoritarian nature of the top-down management of the company and like edicts from the top, the staff would communicate and like talk about it as like, say they would call it Mauschwitz. Mauschwitz. Oh, Mauschwitz this, and have you heard the latest from Mauschwitz? And apparently back in the 80s a very stern letter went round the staff saying, if any member of this company refers to the beloved Walt Disney Corporation as Mauschwitz or anything like that, they will be immediately dealt with severely or something like that. Like forbade them from ever using that term, or an extremely like will be punished severely if they're ever caught using that term like that. And then almost immediately the staff were like, did you read the latest from Duckow? I fucking love that. It's like, right, we can't use Mauschwitz, we're going to call you Duckow. Fucking, that's class. So that company's fucked up, you know what I mean? All allegations about Walt Disney, yeah. Only truth known about Walt is his smoking and alcohol problem. Yeah, but he was from the fucking 60s. Come on. It'd be more weird if he didn't have an alcohol addiction and smoking problem. And another funny thing about that is there's this famous thing called the Disney Point, where if you're a staff member at Disneyland, or like what they call cast members is what they call it, because it's all part of theatre in it and putting on a big show for the kids. There's something that they get instructed to do called the Disney Point, which is like this. That was fucking useful, wasn't it? It's like this. So if there's a guest, excuse me, can you tell me the way to this? They'll say, oh, certainly, it's just over there. Just go this way or over here. And they'll do that 2-finger point. And the belief was that in some cultures, the single point is apparently rude. And like, if you do that, it's rude. So they say, just do it like this. And then it unraveled that it was nothing to do with cultural differences. It was because in all of the famous photographs of good old Walt Disney, he's pointing like that. He's pointing like that in the photos of when they're building Disneyland. He's like, hands on his hips like this. Put it over there. Put it over here. And people were like, and that's why the company has adopted that practice. The two-finger salute, the two-finger point, because good old Walt Disney does it. And then it came out that that isn't true. The reason why Walt Disney is like that in all of his pictures, pointing, is because the photoshopped out his fag. He was fucking smoking like a fucking chimney. And sort of to rehabilitate his image in the 80s or whenever it was, they photoshopped out all the fucking cigarettes that he was smoking. So he's hitting all the pictures, he's like this. That's really annoying me that you can't see it. He's pointing away like that. Put the castle over there. Put fucking Dumbo over there. I don't know why he's from Jersey, but there you go. Maybe he was. Put the fucking castle over there, you fucking piece of shit. And he's pointing like this with his fingers because he had a fag on, but the photoshopped it out. I fucking love that story. It's like this. It's layers of fucking bullshit that you have to peel back. It's class. It's like, oh no, they do it because it's rude to point in some cultures, which is true. But it ain't the reason why they did it. They did it because it was based on the photos of Walt, and it's like, it's a tribute to Walt. But it was actually because he had a fag on and they just photoshopped it out. It's like Stalin. Old school photoshopping out. Get rid of this guy. I don't. He's on my bad book. Literally, he's on the list. Walt was a southern boy. Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he seemed like he was. I mean, clearly he was a visionary and all that shit. I don't know what he was like as a person. He might have been a fucking cunt. When you wish upon a star. When you drag upon a fag. Look at that. Oh, that fucking tree. Let's raise a glass to Sycamore Gap. He's with Walt now. Walt the Chainsmoker, yeah. He died of lung cancer, didn't he? Didn't he? I don't know. He was a huge war profiteer for the army. Dear. I mean, that's like most American industrialists, historical figures, isn't it, really? What propaganda shots? Oh, fuck, no, I don't remember that. Like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck enlisting and stuff. Well, it was a different time, wasn't it? It was a different time. I'm genuinely gutted about that tree. Are you really gutted about that tree? Yeah. It is fucked up. Like I say, all jokes aside, that's it, it's gone forever now. And I was saying on Twitter, I was like, I keep thinking about how the many, many millions of people across the centuries that have stood up under it, that have just looked upon its leaves and smiled, that have touched its bark, that have just had a little moment, have just walked past it, not even thought about it. That whole unbroken strand through time, gone in a fucking night. That's it, it's gone now, it's done. Like, I don't know. And nothing lasts. I know it's like nothing lasts forever, but that's. If it had blown down in that storm, like my initial reaction when I saw the news, I was sort of hazy. I just woke up. It just said Sycamore Gap Tree, something, taken down. Or so I was like, and it was a big storm that night, and I put it together automatically. I was like, oh no, it's a shame. But it would have been natural. It would have been a fitting end. It would have encapsulated the ephemeral quality of life. It was here, and now it's gone, and now we're left without it. But that's not what happened. It was deliberately taken down in a heinous act. Never seen Nazi Donald Duck. He sent it in the Discord. I'm probably not going to show it on stream. Big shark. Oh god. Der Führer's face. Donald Duck Nazi episode with fucking hell, man. Yeah, well, I mean, they're not for the Nazis, of course. That's important to point out. But, or maybe it was. Was it from the time when people thought the Nazis were good? Because there was a brief moment when everyone like, God, jolly old Hitler is really sorting his country out. Like, there's old newspaper articles that talk about it, and it's like, he's really sorting out his country, as good old Hitler. It's like, fucking hell. That was about to change, wasn't it, in a few years? Like, members of our royal family met him and stuff. The Duchess of, what's she called? Duchess of Devonshire. Like, Stephen Fry has a story about, he met the Duchess of Devonshire, who had met Hitler. And, like, he mentioned that he broached the subject with her. I was like, oh, what was Hitler like? Because if someone's met Hitler, you're going to say, what was he like, aren't you? I believe she said it was like, he had very blue eyes, but then you never knew Hitler, did you? Something like that. It's weird. Weird, innit? War propaganda shot against Germany, right? I mean, that's fair enough, isn't it? What's I suppose the same would be like if they released a fucking like a Pixar short with like Woody railing against Putin. Isn't it sort of the same? There's an annexation of Crimea in my boot. Disney made a ton of cartoons making fun of Hitler. Yeah, and too right. If you can't make fun of fucking Hitler, along with Warner Brothers, yeah. I mean, he was kind of begging for it with that little moustache, wasn't he? Here we've got Jurassic Collectibles in the chat. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Don't show up very often in my streams. I mean, I don't very often do streams, but I'm happy to have you on board tonight. What are you thinking about? What's going on in your world? Are you sad about the tree? Are you sad about the tree? Because if you're not, you need to leave. Because tonight we're coming together and sharing our emotions. We're all sharing one story that we think we're sharing one memory of the tree that none of you have been to. Always a pleasure to watch your streams, sir. Thank you very much. We've been online mates for a long time now, haven't we? Going back, I mean, pre-Jurassic World, I would have said. You just joined us during Hitler Talk. Just a little bit of Hitler Talk, just to get us going with the Jurassic Dark times. Oh, some would say that that could be now. It was the Jurassic Dark Ages when we were. It was Jurassic Purgatory. It was Jurassic Limbo when there was no news and nothing's happening. But some would say it was almost a Schrodinger's cat type of effect, because when we had nothing, it could have gone either way. Now we've opened the box and we've seen what we've had to. We've seen what they've given us. Maybe that box should have stayed closed. Nah, I'm just joking. People like all that stuff, don't they? Wasn't my cup of tea, a lot of it, but. And now we've got some more coming, haven't we? We've got some great announcements just made. Why is this fucking camera not focusing? We've got a follow-up to Camp Cretaceous, everyone. If you're into all that. I had a ball during those years collecting Jurassic. I mean, yeah, me too. I was, God, you wouldn't believe it. Like when I set up all this YouTube channel and stuff. I mean, look at it now. None of this is fucking has any resemblance to what it was when I started. I was Jurassic Park fucking out the wazoo. I loved that shit. I mean, I still love the first film, but I'll fucking do autofocus, you cunt. There we go. But yeah, like even like I used to be on eBay all the time looking at stuff to buy. I would get the packed lunch boxes. I would get all the little whatever I could find that was original Jurassic merchandise, all the class stuff that I was into. But now I don't even fucking bother. I just don't care anymore. Dino Crispo's in the chat and very bluntly says dead tree. It's actually still alive. The stump is alive. The stump is alive. There's life yet. Alright, Dino Crispo. Tweet like her extraordinaire himself. What have I missed so far? Jurassic Collectibles says. What is the situation on the tree? The situation on the tree is thus. They've arrested a 16-year-old for cutting it down. And then he's been released. Presumably they've got info from him. Then they arrested a man in his 60s. Who is now also been released, I think. Then they've arrested another man in his 60s. But I think that was just a tangential thing. Like, there's a lot of finger pointing going on in the community. People are saying, he did it, this guy did it. There's a story about a retired lumberjack who had recently been kicked off his farm that he grew up on. So it's like, he's a lumberjack with a grudge. He lives within a stone's throw of the tree. But he's come out and said, it wasn't me, but I've been interviewed by the police because it seems I have a motive, basically. I don't know I've got a feeling we're never going to know who did it. It's the perfect crime. During a storm, so the sound of the tree being cut down was masked. It was a full moon, so they could see what they were doing. It was windy, so all the sawdust and everything was blown to the winds. It was scattered. They were in, they were out. I read a rumour online, the internet detectives, yeah. I'm leaning like that because I put my light there and it's, you know what, I'll just move the fucking window. Fucking screen's big enough. Hey, we've got Tom Jurassic saying, love you, Sicky. I love you too, Tom. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but you just missed the Hitler talk. Maybe if you get in earlier next time, you'll hear the Hitler talk. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. Jurassic Collectible says he remembers collecting stuff around 2010. I'm thinking it was old then, counting my blessings. It was still for sale online, but now it's really ancient. And post-Jurassic World, it's like hen's teeth. Yeah. I don't know. I've only got a box of stuff left. I used to have loads more, but now it's... Oh, we've reached the end of Thriller. Fucking get it going again. I've just got a little. I don't know. I don't really. I just collect like. I don't collect anything anymore. Fuck it. Fine setup, I must say, Sicky. What? All this, it's alright. But this, I don't know, I mentioned it last time, this is a feed from an old camcorder from 1998 that I've rigged up. If I do this. Check this out. Oh fuck. There you go. Whoa, we're in a fucking loop here. Yeah, I hacked it to get it running. Yes, man. So it's a Panasonic, whatever the fuck. There you go. Panasonic VZ1. And as I said last time when I was talking about fucking it up, there's nothing special about it. It's just the one that I used to use when I was a kid. So it's got a lot of nostalgia for me. And I've got it on demo mode, so it's cycling through all the stupid effects and stuff it can do. But it's it can do night vision as well. Obviously you're not going to see the benefit because you can see the effect there. It's very well lit. Tom says he thinks he just entered the Matrix. Yeah, man. You think you're ready for this then? Check this out. You think you entered the Matrix? I was messing about with filters the other day, and that was one of them. Well, I set this up so it would look like it was raining code. There you go. Jurassic Collectibles says he had an old JVC, loved it. I'd stop frame mode. That was like a quarter-second capture. It was really bad for animating. Huh. Yeah, you can't beat an old camera. Plus, as I was saying on Twitter, like if you capture the footage in the correct way, you can de-interlace it and get like 60 FPS, or if you PAL, 50 FPS. Because these cameras and a lot of old VHS was basically, it was 50 FPS interlaced, which you couldn't even get that. I mean, you can now. It was indeed my old camera from back in the day. Well, that's actually, I got a replacement because the one I had bust. I filmed all that, what was it called? Fucking, some of the stuff in Commemorative Chaos is filmed on the original camera I had as a kid, and it was filmed on these, get the fucking thriller on. Mini VHS-C tapes. So there you go, magnetic tape. But you can hold like 45 minutes, or if you're on SP 45 minutes, standard play. If you're on long play, you can get like fucking 3 hours on some of these tapes. You can't beat it. Like I said, I got a fully refurbed one, and like if I'm ever want to film something, just use that. It's better. None of it's on the fucking cloud. It can't corrupt. It can't do any of that stuff. The tapes can hold shitloads. It's more fun and satisfying to zoom it in, zoom it out. It's naturally high frame rate. It's just class. Big Shark says, "Oh yes, Sicky, you had any luck finding Matrix 35mm for sale?" Nah. There might be one out there. I ain't gonna buy it. I don't know how to scan it or out like that. It's just, I was only on about that because the one floating around online is not good quality, and people are holding that up as if it's like, that's what the Matrix should look like. But if we get into Matrix discussion, that's a whole fucking rabbit hole, you know what I mean? Because I've been up to my eyeballs in fucking Matrix the past couple of days. Tom says, "This is so sick. Oh my god. Anytime I watch your stuff, I just want to spend hours in After Effects." Well, that's good, isn't it? Such a cool art form, using older technology for filming too, which you get real visceral effect. Your grain, sharpness, colours, all feel much more unique as a result. Yeah. It's just like, it's just like warm and cozy. Sometimes it fucks the white balance up when you do that though. Whereas the light goes off. If you watched my last stream, we were playing with all these effects. Mosaic. Negative. Does your fucking iPhone do negative? I don't think it fucking does. Mr. Meme99 says, particularly random question. What's your opinion on the government? Against. I don't know. I think they're all fucking wankers. Nah. My opinion on the current government of my country, or on the idea of government. I don't know. I'm not too into all the political stuff. I have my views, but I don't like to fucking go on about it. You know what I mean? Jurassic Collectibles asks, what film are you most looking forward to seeing right now? Probably June 2. In Evil News, June 2, Killers of the Flower Moon, bit of Martin Scorsese. I want to see Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Can't fucking wait. Napoleon. Ridley Scott's Napoleon. Gladiator 2. There's fucking loads actually. We've got a good slate coming. A lot of stuff up my street, that's all I'm saying. Fuck. Tom says he needs to dip as he has a long day tomorrow, but I'll catch up with us after. Always fun time hanging out with everyone. Yeah, nice. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you around on the internet. June 2 got moved to next year. Yeah. Let me just see if I missed anything. Current British government, I mean, they seem pretty fucking inept, don't they? I don't like them, let me tell you that. But it's like, what's the alternative? There's nothing. There's no fucking politicians or political parties that I want them to represent me. And I think that's how most of us fucking feel, to be honest. They're fucking useless. But if someone ran it, apparently there's a general election going to be coming up soon, and if they run on the campaign promise of, we will publicly execute the person who cut down that tree, that's an instant vote for me. They've won my vote. I'm a one-issue voter, and that issue is finding and punishing whoever did that tree. The Actors Doing Press, that's delayed it, yeah. Well, with the Writers Guild getting back into the swing of it, they've ended the strike. If the Screen Actors follow suit, we could maybe, I don't know. I guess if they've moved the date, that's it. It's staying there. But the fact it's just sitting there like ready to go is a bit like, as you say, toys coming out and stuff. It's like loads of like fucking promotional stuff dropped. Like the Empire stuff was like a big splash page of June 2. Check out an exclusive June 2 story. And it's like, when's the film coming out? Oh yeah, fucking a year from now. June toys. I think that's what he means. Yeah, June toys. NECA figures and stuff. Mr. Meme99 says it's either shit with the Conservatives or a little less shit with Labour. Yeah. Pretty much how I feel. It's a state. It's a fucking state. But did they do any toys for the 1st June? Yeah, they did loads. They did NECA figures, didn't they? Like action figures. I didn't get any, but I saw them. Todd McFarlane, alright, there you go. And there's like there's a June game. video game RPG and all that. It's like, when was that going to drop? Is that going to be, if they move that back? Is it all going to, I don't know. Just fucking give us June. In next June. What else has oh, that's it. Even the 1984 film's got toys, says Down to Chris, but yeah, the Lynch June. Well, that's what I was going to do. Speaking of the Sycamore, I've got one of these old Ladybird books. Look, I've got a little collection of them. They're from the 60s, and they're famous for like having really charming illustrations and stuff. The Ladybird Book of Trees. It's got everything you could ever want to know about tree species of the British Isles. Let's find fucking. And I wanted to read the Sycamore page just to rub salt in the wound. Oh, there she is. Look. Pride of place at the bottom. There's the Sycamore. So there you go. Look, they've got like just beautiful illustrations, hand drawn. Jolly old England, quaint, beautiful. The sweet chestnut. Horse chestnut. There you go, JC. You've been out conquering, haven't you? Conquering. Beech. I fucking love a good tree. Like I swear, there's something. There is a magic to trees. I know it's daft, and it is just a fucking form of life that grows and dies like everything else. But the oak tree, look at that. But particularly big trees. Like I've been lucky enough to go to some famous trees, some huge trees, the biggest examples of the species in the country. Like I've seen the tallest grand fir tree. I've seen the highest growing hazel tree or whatever the fuck it was, I can't remember. I've seen the biggest lime tree in the country. And like there is the sort of, you do have a reverence for them when you're underneath them and you're looking at them and you're touching them, and it's like, you know what I mean? They do feel like, obviously they're not fucking sentient, and I'm not a tree hugger or not like that, but they are very special, and I think we gotta try and take care of them. Where's this fucking sycamore? In the spirit of Tolkien, you gotta look after your big trees because they're beautiful and they're old. The sycamore or great maple. Here we go. Or great. I didn't know it could be called classed as the great maple. There's the drawing. And it says, the sycamore is not a native tree of Britain, but was introduced from Central Europe in Tudor times. Probably when that one was fucking planted. Because that's more than 300 years ago. It is a stout, erect tree, which grows very quickly, reaching a height of 70 feet in about 50 years. But it does not live much more than 150. Well, this one was fucking 300, so you're talking shit, ladybird. The trunk is greyish-brown and smooth, and bears many robust, twisting branches which are bluish-grey in old trees. The dull green leaves, often black-spotted because they are attacked by fungi, are five-lobed and carry on long stalks, and are carried on long stalks. They appear in April and turn yellow before falling in October. This one fucking fell in October. Well, it fell in September. The flowers hang down in long golden green clusters and appear in May. The fruit is a winged nut, but the nuts, the seeds, are usually in pairs, so the wings look like aeroplane propellers. They come twisting down in October. The timber is creamy white in colour, hard and strong. It is used for making such things as kitchen utensils and tabletops, and also as flooring. This one's fucking been flawed. It's devastating, really, when you think about it. What else we got? Yeah, so there you go, there's your little book of trees. It's kind of a tree theme tonight. Jurassic Collectible says he loves conkers. Yeah, good classic conker. Although I never like to do the actual activity because it was a bit like fucking, you know what I mean? Your knacky knuckles doing it. But we're just getting them and holding them, and apparently there's a myth that if you leave them around your house, it deters spiders. I think that's bullshit. They had the boy from Prince of Thieves on the news. The one up the tree. I was shocked to see his son jump to grown up after all these years. Well, that would be weird, yeah. Yeah, Brian, they're getting like people who are in that film to come out and like give their 2 cents. Like Brian Blessed, who's in the film for like one shot, well, like one scene at the beginning. Like, whoa, the tree will go back. I can't do his voice. It was like, that stump, it's alive. I'm telling you, the stump is alive. The stump is alive. He was like that. Gordon's alive. Yeah, who else? Kevin. Oh, we need a statement from Kevin Costner. That's the only thing that's going to make it right. Please, Kevin. Hashtag Kevin. Just, we need to get a movement going to get Kevin Costner to release a statement. I think he probably would, actually. Get Alan Rickman. Oh, he's gone to the same. The tree's gone to the same place Alan Rickman has. Prince of Thieves is a very underrated flick. I like that film. It is a cheesy 90s fucking thing. Fucking voice went. But I've always quite liked it. Like you say, you got Alan Rickman, Michael Wincott, and because it was filmed in so much of it was filmed in English countryside, and like places not far. Like I've been to, never mind just this tree, I've been to a famous battle with her in the waterfall. Kevin Costner with the sticks fighting Little John. That was filmed at a place near me in the Dales, and I've been there. I've recreated the photo, stood in the same spot. It's class. What's it called? Is it called Aysgarth Falls? I think it's Aysgarth Falls where they filmed it. And I've always loved that Robin Hood's kind of mythology, folklore, I suppose it is. Prince of Thieves is a genuinely decent film, says Mr. Main. Yeah, it's good. Jurassic Collectibles. I love Prince of Thieves. To my best friend, it was up there with the Jurassic at the time. Yeah, it's a good classic adventure film. Good sense of, the characters are pretty well written. Good sense of banter between Morgan Freeman and the British, the Englishman, the English Christianman, and then the Muslim from the dark places of the world, and they both get along. They have a shared understanding. Pretty good. Alright, see you later, Mr. Meme99. Thanks for stopping by. Waterworld. Daniel Christmas says Waterworld 2 when? I'm not really chomping at the bit for Waterworld 2. I think 1 was enough. Ulysses cut. Is that a fan cut? Is that a fan cut of Waterworld? I didn't even know that existed. It's the first time hearing of it. A really good cut, there's a way better ending. Not a fan cut, it's literally another cut of the film. I've never even heard of that. The Arrow release. Huh. I might check that out. Again, it's one of those... I quite like it, but it was like... I don't know, it didn't quite... It was trying to be Mad Max, but instead of sand, it was water. And it just didn't quite hit it, did it? But for what it was alright. It was a laugh. It was one of them late night Channel 5. Stick that on, it's like, oh... You wouldn't stick it on, it would be on. But yeah. Granny Panny says, hello everybody. Alright, Granny Panny. Who's your avatar? Is that Dutch? It kind of looks like Dutch from Red Dead. All three of you have got the same, like, the same avatar. It's fucking impossible to... Apparently the film was a hellish shoot. Yeah. I can imagine. Extended cut. A guy I watch runs a channel called Atoll. He talks about Waterworld history. Well, there's a dedicated YouTuber who talks about Waterworld. I love the internet. I love democracy. Making of stuff. No, more power to him. That's one of the great things about nerds and the internet, is that everyone, you find your own little niche. Like, you can find, like, think of something totally abstract or random, like, there'll be a whole following and a little subgroup of fans that love that thing. I mean, a lot of people are surprised to learn that there was, like, people that hyped Jurassic Park for a long time. It was like, wait, what? This guy's whole thing is Jurassic Park. Like, that was seen as a bit like, and you have to explain, it was like my Star Wars. It's like my Star... Because people know Trekkies and they know Star Wars freaks. But they didn't know... Like, there wasn't a Jurassic... People that wasn't seen as a thing. I think it's changed now, but... There's an outlet for everything online, yeah. Which is... It's... You know, it's its benefit and its hazard, isn't it? It's a pro and it's a con. Because it's like... I mean, I talked about this before. About you can connect with people, like-minded people. You can find your people, which is great when it's sort of like pop culture. But when it's extreme political views, it's not. You know what I mean? It ain't great. Echo chambers form and stuff. Stargazers, yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything spacey I can sort of understand, because that's a whole breed of people, isn't it? Like, seems like if it has a tinge of space, it goes fucking crazy. Like, the nerds proper love that stuff. And I say nerd as an inclusive term that I count myself as. Like, if it's a Battlestar Galactica or a Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate, people go fucking nuts for it. Granny Panny asks, what is your thoughts on the Jurassic Park novels? Well, I've only read the first one, and that was when I was a kid. And I liked it, but I haven't read the others. I'm not a big Crichton fan, to be honest. I like Jurassic Park, but, you know, I just never really got into him. I'm sure I could sit down and read the stuff and I'd like it, but I don't feel any draw there. There's other stuff I'd rather be reading, you know what I mean? He just doesn't jive with me, I guess. My Jurassic Park love comes from the film, the Spielberg film, not the book. Like, I didn't know anything about the book until I'd seen the film, so. You haven't read The Lost World? Never read it. Never read it. Don't even own it. I don't even own the first book. Like I said, I'm just not into Crichton, really. I'm not saying he's a bad writer or not like that. Obviously, you know, I don't think he's the fucking greatest example. going. But he's very, very successful, you can't deny that. Sold like fucking billions of books, you know what I mean? But the one that I read, the first one, from what I can remember, yeah, I like that. I mean, it's the idea, isn't it? If you get that idea, you can't, what a winner that was. Extracting amber to get blood from dinosaurs to recreate and resurrect them. You can't beat that. Got James in the chat. He says, me either. I don't know what he don't know what he means there. You've read the books because you've audio booked them, haven't you? The Lost World was better than the first book, in my opinion. I've heard that before. A lot of people prefer that. Because he had to pull the fucking Conan Doyle, didn't he? He had to bring back Sherlock Holmes. He killed off Malcolm and had to bring him back. It's quite good. The second one sucks you in. I might give it a go one day. There's too many classics that I need to get through. You know what I mean? I've got like a list of 100 fucking books that I need to get through. I've always usually got 2 on the go at a time. But like, there's certain stuff that I've always wanted to read that I'm trying to get through. There's classics, like it's like big name stuff that I want to get through. I mean, I'm doing all the Philip K. Dick stuff at the minute, so I've been through 3 Stigmata of Hammer Eldritch. I'm about to do Penultimate Truth, which I'm really excited about because that sounds class. Penultimate Truth by Philip K. Dick. The premise. How can you hear this premise and not immediately want to read this? In the future, society lives in underground bunkers because a devastating war ravaged the earth, and the population lives in these bunkers and gets messages from like the command saying, nominal level, the radiation levels or the devastation today is terrible, stay in your bunkers, there's this. The society forms within these underground bunkers, but then one day someone looks out and it's a paradise and they've all been lied to. That's fucking exciting, isn't it? And then the story goes from there. JC says the Lost World novel I feel is very much a detective story following the breadcrumbs about everything. Whereas the first has that at the beginning, then you're in the world of the park. A lot of enigmas in the Lost World, one enigma after another. Hawkins family says save you the hassle and listen to ours on Unicast if you want my Hammond voice. Yeah, if you don't know, they've on the Jurassic Unicast they've got a recording of the audio. They've read the book. It's like a freely available audio book of the book. If you're into the audiobooks, why not listen to a fan's version of it? I can't fucking stand audiobooks myself, but JC says he always wants the Hammond voice narrating his life. Yeah. It is a nice little whispery Scottish affectation, isn't it? Kind of drops a little bit here and there. Merry-go-round, carousel. But with this place, it's like that. Like he just goes into Attenborough a lot of the time. I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something they could see and touch. A name not devoid of merit. Oh, what a scene. What a performer. Got AI Hammond still right. Yeah, you can do all that shit now. You can get any character. You can get Ian Malcolm or Jeff Goldblum. You can get all of them. Spared no expense. Yeah, what a line. Spared no expense. If he was narrating my fucking life, he wouldn't be saying that. My dear Dr. Sadler, welcome to Jurassic Park. Like on some lines, he's very Scottish. To Jurassic Park. Welcome to Jurassic Park. You know, he's like that. Are you going down to see the T-Rex? He's like that. And then other lines is just very RP English. But fucking hell, they're all a bit like that, aren't they? Grant, if none of the Americans have any trouble because they're just doing themselves. Attenborough and Neil, they're a little bit. Grant does go a bit Kiwi. Ellie, get away from the T-Rex. Look out, the raptors are coming for you. He's a bit like that. God bless him. And in Dominion, fucking hell, it's even worse. God love him. That scene with Grant and Sattler in the fucking tent, his accent is like, it's all over the place. He sounds like Terry Wogan. There's a bit when he says something like, Sattler tells him about the divorce, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." He goes into Peaky Blinders Irish accent. Terry Wogan. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. He's like that. Maybe I shouldn't say it. But I was talking with someone. He won't mind. I was talking to Sam Neill's son, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of Dominion?" I was like, "Oh, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was and all this. I thought Sam Neill was great," and his son put back, "But his accent though." So he, you know what I mean? Even he knew. So even Sam Neill probably knows. He did his best, and that counts for a lot in my book. If you got the heart, that counts for it. He was really rough along with Malcolm. I thought Malcolm managed to sort of pull it back a little bit, because when he did the Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, he came back, didn't he, for that scene? And some of it was like, "Welcome to Jurassic World." It was like somebody else's voice. But I think he kind of found his way back to the voice a little bit. Because Malcolm in the first two films is very sort of, he ain't that fucking cartoonish. But in the subsequent 30 years, the Jeff Goldblum meme has now become Jeff Goldblum himself. Like, there's no separation anymore. It is his persona. So he was the meme. He acted how everyone expected him to act for that Fallen Kingdom, and I think somebody's pulled him aside and said, "Here, tone it down a bit. We need about 80% of what you're doing. That'll be all right, Jeff." Hawkins family. I'm just going to say James. No one would care about a young Hammond because there's no fist pumping Carnals. Yeah. It was that whole thing about Sam Neill's accent, how Spielberg told him to change it. Yeah, what was it? He was doing an American accent, and then Spielberg said, "Don't, just do whatever you want." So that's why it's some scenes it's him, some scenes it's not. I don't mind it. It's never been a problem. It's just funny to notice. That's why we love him. Fist bumping Carnos. I didn't see that. I saw the GIF or whatever it was, but. Yeah. More of that on the way. Look at you, look at me, look at you, yeah. See, some of that interaction between the old cast did kind of get me. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, that's them. The back. So it managed to do that. Can't be all bad, can it? Spencermus is in the chat. He says, "Hello everyone." Alright, Spencermus. How are we getting on with your film? your little short film. Spencer has worked on short film, dino-centric. He asked me to help out a little bit. Never heard back. No, I'm joking. I feel like in Dominion it doesn't sound like Grant from JP, but fucking nah. I mean, maybe here and there. It's just Sam Neill, innit? Didn't Grant sound off too in JP3? I don't think it wasn't as noticeable. He sounded different again, but I think it was just because he was being more. He was a bit more serious when he'd been through the ringer in that film, hadn't he? So fuck knows. Thanks for asking, man. I reshot a good portion. I also made a cool little puppy for it. Gonna finish editing soon, hopefully. Oh, nice one. What you showed me was very impressive. I thought it would look cool. So, and if you want me to do, if you need any more from me, or you're all good, whatever, totally cool. Even if you don't want to use it, I'm not bothered. I did some After Effects stuff for him, but whatever. It's there if you want it, and if you don't, it's all right with me. Spencer says, holy shit, JC's here, absolute legend. There you go. He's one of the Jurassic elders. He's a Jurassic fandom elder. He's up there with Dan's JP. He's Dan from Dan's JP3 page. The mysterious Jurassic Raptor. These are the Jurassic Park elders. Jurassic Collectibles. Dan from Dan's JP3 page. Jurassic Raptor, they're my ones who I hold in high regard. They're the triumvirate, the Jurassic triumvirate. You've got the Father, the Son, and Dan is the Holy Ghost, because he's, where is he? He's the spirit that hangs over us all. Jurassic Collectibles, I'm a Jurassic End. And we're the trees that you heard. The old guard, yeah. But it seems like it was years ago. It seems a lot longer than it was back in the good old days. It was like, oh, like Jurassic Raptor and all that. I was like, whoa, he's got a full persona that is Jurassic Park, and it's all Jurassic Park all the time. I want to do that. That's when I became sick Triceratops. I said it all up. I've talked about this before. I was like, Jurassic Raptor was the fan that I aspired to be. I was like, I want to be him one day. And then I made my account and so on. And now I want to get as far away from it as I fucking can. No, I'm joking. Spencer says, on with the way Grant was used in Jurassic World Dominion. I felt like he was the same guy, but I really feel like he was just kind of there to be a grumpy old man. I feel like there's a lot left to do with the character. Yeah, I think he's done now. He ain't coming back. None of them are, but I see what you mean. Yeah, he didn't have much to do, did he? Jurassic Collectible says, to be fair, Siki, you are definitely part of the same group in my mind. I mean, I'm not. Come on. I'm still fucking new on the scene in my head. But I did get retweeted by Sam Neill. So. Granny Panny says, when I watch Dominion, for most part, he's not even doing anything. Yeah. I've only seen it once. I saw it once at the pictures, and I haven't seen it since. I haven't seen the extended version or now. I think because I enjoyed it when I watched it in the pictures, and I think if I watched it again I'm going to be annoyed, so let's just let it exist in my mind in that soft light of, it was alright, leave it there. Jurassic Collectibles says, I feel like they should have handed it off and warned the new cast in Dominion. In Jurassic World, yeah. Yeah, they did kind of bring him in later, didn't they? And bringing Dodgson in the last film. I know we said at the time it was like, oh, you're bringing the villain back in the last film. Kind of sounds like the mistake that the Star Wars films made. You know what I mean? It's like, remember me, the villain from the first film? I'm back. It's like, this is the last film out of 6, and you're bringing the villain as the bookend. It's like, you maybe could have peppered him in Jurassic World, have him in the background, but I know they didn't really have that planned, did they? Big Shaq says, don't forget Colin Trevorrow replied to you all snarky. I won't fucking soon forget that. I won't fucking forget that. No, I still don't know if he did or not. I can't work it out. I'm over it. Colin did seem a tad snide. I think he just didn't realise that Oppenheimer was in the first film, so he thought that I was just being some fucking lunatic conflating Oppenheimer and the bomb to Jurassic Park, which obviously is insane until you take into account the fact that the film originally did do that connection already, and Spielberg already made that connection, and I was just extrapolating on what that could possibly mean, and I don't think Trevorrow remembered, and so he was like, look at that. But I don't care, he's a fucking shit film director. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. Oppenheimer was literally shown in JP, yeah. Granny Pandy says Oppenheimer was a masterpiece. I love when Oppenheimer walked in and Oppenheimer'd all over the place, yeah. Hawkins family says, yeah, for me the old cast actually made the Minion. Imagine if they wasn't actually in it, what would it have been? Literally forgettable, yeah. I mean, the only thing that kept me interested was the fact that the old cast, the fan service of the old cast were there. It worked for me. I was going to say, we were talking about Disneyland Paris earlier, so if you'll have to watch the archive, because you'll know, like, they've had it all closed down and a lot of it's been refurbed, and the big hotel, you go, we won't fucking believe some of the stuff they've done. They fucking ruined it. Because the James Hawkins is the geezer. A few years ago, we were both at Disneyland Paris at the same time, and I left a little note for him. I was like, here, tomorrow, go to this location, look under this tomb, and you'll find a little note from me. And then he filmed himself going and finding it. It was class. It was like we'd met, but we hadn't met. Jurassic Collectible says, in fact, I think it was a set dresser who did that. I don't know how much Spielberg. I've never been able. I tried looking it up as best I could, but Spielberg didn't do it. I mean, he didn't. He might not have placed it on the thing, but he's okayed that shot. Like, the whole frame is his face. He's obviously just not. He hasn't just not noticed it. You know what I mean? But Todd Marks, who did the GPS device for the Lost World, also worked on JP for that bit and helped. And saw that set dressing going on, I believe, yeah. Something I found out the other day through your videos and then a tweet exchange was the PG Tips artwork is on the mural in the film. I didn't know that, and I've actually spoken to the guy who painted the mural in the back of the scene when Hammond's eating the ice cream. There's a big parody of Guernica with dinosaurs instead, and he never mentioned to me it was fucking copied from other artwork. Kept that quiet, Mike. I was asking, because I was curious about the idea behind this to parody Guernica, a really famous painting of the horrors of war by Picasso, why he would put that in a family adventure film. So I managed to track down the geezer who painted it, and he was like, oh, Rick Carter, the production designer, instructed me to paint it. It was his design, but I painted it. It's like, you could have said you fucking traced some PG Tips artwork from some other geezer. You know what I mean? Good spot, Sicky. No way. Can't believe you met him. I didn't meet him. I emailed him. anything about Mike Dennering. He's a famous map painter, Hollywood map painter. He's done some classic stuff. They really did a lot of cool details on Nedry's desk. Really added the chic, geek chic, and I thought about it a lot. Yeah, I mean that's the whole film is like littered with just great little accents and details. I've got the Panic Pete, you know, that you squeeze, the eyes pop out. It's just on the top of this shelf up here. James Sorkin says he'll post the vlog and the timestamp. Yeah, do it. But even that ride, Phantom Manor, which is my favourite ride at Disneyland Paris, it's the haunted house, the haunted mansion equivalent. They've redone all of that, and a lot of it looks better. The lighting's updated, but all right. See you later, Granny Panny. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, but the Phantom Manor. It used to be there's in the ride. It's a haunted house ride. You sit in a fucking car and it goes through it, whatever. And all through the ride, there's this geezer called the Phantom Manor. And as a horror fan growing up, it was the coolest fucking thing. It's a skeleton wearing a fucking Victorian Jack the Ripper cloak with a top hat that just laughs maniacally at all the death and dismay that's going on, which is fucking come on, so cool. And it was voiced by Vincent Price, so it had Vincent Price's laugh. If you can imagine that, talking about Thriller, Vincent Price's laugh. You know that laugh, that cackle. This skeleton on the ride has that laugh. And you would see it at different points to do with the story of the ride. Like it's the father of this bride, and he didn't like the fiance, so he killed him. And he was like the baron of a mine in town, and the mine collapsed in and killed all the miners, and these are the ghosts that are in the house. But then this refurb that they've just done, the ghost, he used to be like right at the end of the ride, you would see him with an open casket next to him, as if to say, like, you're fucking going in here next, you visitors to the park. And he would be like a zombie, and his skin was hanging off. And it was so fucking brutal. Like, for a Disneyland attraction, it was class. And he was like cackling like that, and his cloak was shredded, and he had a fucking shovel, and it was like all gone now. Now he's just a normal skeleton. Fucking shocking. Jurassic Collectible says what he means is it may have been a second unit shot and insert. Oh, that is a possibility. So Spielberg might not have even been on set that day. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe he doesn't know about it. Sicky note, what you're on about? Post the vlog and timestamp. Where you posting that? You'll have to join my Discord, James. I was talking about the Nautilus ride. You'll know what I mean. Where you go underwater and it's the submarine and the big squid attacks. They've took the squid out. How are you going to take a fucking squid out in the Nautilus ride? That's the whole fucking thing of the film, is it's a big squid that attacks. Now it's fucking dolphins. Fucking Echo the dolphin swims past. I don't know. Did you post it on Discord? Oh, I don't know what you're on about. just need more money, yeah. Yeah, if you're not in my Discord, you should get yourself in. Someone can invite you, a big shot might be able to invite you. I thought I fucking sent your invite anyway, but it's called Ultra Spesh. You're fucking quieting down, haven't you? Where have you gone? Don't leave me on my own. I'll start to dwell on the tree again. Good time to take a break anyway. I don't know how long I'm gonna go for, but there's no time limit. Just wanted to get a stream out my system, so Jurassic Collectible says he likes my Nedry print. Yeah, I'll once I come back after the break, I'll answer some questions. Breadsticks has just put a tree emoji. Are you trying to break my heart? Breadsticks with a Z. I'm only joking. Welcome to the stream. Warm welcome to Breadsticks. He's dropped a little tree emoji there as a little tribute to Sycamore. The Sycamore Gap tree. Gone but not forgotten. I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just going to refill my drink. Alright. I've just paused Thriller because there's more black shit. We were talking about Disneyland and Michael Jackson staying in the Disneyland hotel at Disneyland Paris, which they've gutted and ruined. But look at it. Yeah. How fitting is this? Can you see that? Wait. Oh, fuck. The behind the scenes on Thriller, they're doing the dance rehearsal. There's Michael Jackson. The bit when they're walking down the street, it's close to midnight. Look what Michael Jackson is wearing on his sweater. It's only Mickey the Mouse. Oh, that's helpful. Wait for that to go off. See that? It's Mickey the Mouse. Michael Mouse on Michael Jackson's sweater. He was mad about that mouse, he was, Michael. There he goes. Rest in peace, MJ. He's gone the same place as the tree. Nah, the tree isn't in hell. Right, so we're back in business. Is my mic on? Yeah. It's close to midnight. Breadsticks says Sycamore will be remembered fondly. Oh yeah, man. Remembered fondly and punished severely for the crime committed against it. I'm not even joking when I say that. Once the person's name gets out in the community, his family are fucking done. Like, the people in the northeast, especially the local people, they're fucking livid about this. We're one fucking step from pitchforks and burning torches. Torches made, and pitchforks and torches hewn from the felled tree of the sycamore itself. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Spencer said, did you ever finish that 4K 35mm conversion project? Was I doing one of them? Do you mean my Jurassic Park restoration project? Because that was only ever 1080p. I was making my own version. Perfect 1080p version of Jurassic Park. Taking all the best bits from each version that I liked. Taking the best quality sound, which isn't the Dolby Digital, it's the DTS. Gary Rydstrom. And making the ultimate Jurassic Park pristine version. I didn't finish that because I got bored. But I'm not a 4K version, 35mm conversion project. That I don't. Yeah, no, that wasn't me. Jurassic Collectible says we should worry if a big tower nearby starts excavating around it and burning trees. Yes. The accursed tree slayer, as Treebeard calls him. Saruman. Tell me, friend, when did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness? What a great scene. I just watched all the 4K Lord of the Rings. Couldn't talk about that. There's a lot of, I'm having a little moment right now. There's a lot of Lincoln's been happening. We've got this tree coming down. I've watched all the 4K Lord of the Rings films. I was flicking through John Landis's Monsters in the Movies book when I was having a shit the other day. John Landis, who directed Thriller, that is now on behind us. In the book that I was reading by John Landis, I noticed that there is a page about evil wizards because it's about monsters in the movies, and Saruman, played by Christopher Lee, is mislabeled as Sauron. It says Christopher Lee. The caption of the photo of Saruman, Christopher Lee playing the Dark Lord Sauron, and I got annoyed at that. How about that? And now you're talking about Saruman. The trees come down. Saruman, Christopher Lee, John Landis, Thriller. Everything is a loop. Everything is a fucking loop. And I'm at the centre. Yeah. 27 minutes in. Okay, I'll post it on there. Post it on here live. It's on Discord DM. I can probably play the video live. That could be kind of funny, couldn't it? You better not copyright claim me, you bastard. Ricky, fuck this fucking name. Ricky Dicky Doodah Grimes. The kid that cut it down must be halfway to Mexico by now. Yeah. I don't know. They're never going to catch whoever's done it. I don't think they're going to. I don't think this whole thing. If they got this 16-year-old, then they released him. Then they got a 60-year-old geezer, released him. Another fucking 60-year-old geezer, released him. It sounds like they're just arresting people that the community are going. It was him. It was her. I've heard it was him. He posted this thing. I think it was him. I think whoever did that treat, they are in fucking Mexico, or the British equivalent, which is the Scilly Isles. No, I don't know. Spencer says you did one for Jurassic Park. I think it was like a while back. Yeah, it was ages ago. It was back when my website was on Tumblr. I made some good progress on it, but I abandoned it like most of the stuff I fucking embark upon. Dano Crispo says he hasn't seen Lord of the Rings. What, you've never seen any of the films? They're very good. Have you read the books? Big Shaq says he'll be back. See you later. The chat is now erupted in anger and disgust and injury at the thought of Dano Crispo having never seen Lord of the Rings, and rightly so. If you put, well, I don't like showing stuff on the. My setup is very specific. I can show images, but I don't like showing videos. I'd have to rip the video from YouTube. I have the VHS making of Thriller blew my mind. Yeah, that's what I'm. Oh fuck! Oh, he's gone off. Look. That's what I've got. I showed it earlier. I don't know if you're here. This is my original copy from when I was a child. There you go. And it's got all the stuff about Rick Baker, Make Me a Monster and all that, and the werecat. Fucking class, that werecat vehicle. Dan Crispo says he tried to watch the films but got bored. I mean, they are very slow at times and kind of dreamlike and that, so I can understand that. I mean, they are some of the best films. Like, it is one of the best trilogies ever made. Yeah, they're very good. I've seen the Rankin Bass Hobbit, loved it. Yeah, that's good. Jurassic Collectible says it's still worth a watch if you haven't seen Sicky. What is? Could you guys, Spencer says, could you guys stand the Hobbit trilogy? I always try to watch them, but I can never finish them. I mean, they're not good, but as a little hit of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, all the old team getting back together, I like it for that. A lot of it's fucking shit. But some of it's interesting. I like seeing the White Council fight Sauron. You know, you've got Galadriel, Elrond, Saruman. He brought Christopher Lee back when he was on Death's Door. Like, come on. Billy Connolly, yeah, that's shit. The barrel, the bit that gets me is the barrels. When they're in the barrel, that sequence overall is quite good. When they're in the barrels and they're floating down and there's orcs jumping and Legolas is there. I don't know why Legolas is there, because he shouldn't be. But then it cuts to GoPro footage and it's pixelated. And even when you watch the 4K Blu-rays of The Hobbit, it's like a slap in the face. It cuts to pixelated GoPro footage because I think Jackson had like a deal with him or something, and it was like totally into this new technology. You could get them cameras wet, and I'm going to put them everywhere and use the footage, and it's fucking shocking. Literally, if you pause the Blu-ray, you can see like the pixelation. Like it looks like that. Imagine fucking Martin Freeman in a barrel like that. Spencer says he had no clue Christopher Lee was in it. Yeah, he came back for the Hobbit films. In the White Council scene when they're all sort of talking about like they have the Morgul blade, and they're talking about like the evil has returned, and it's like Saruman doesn't believe it, stuff like that. But then it's who's this necromancer at Dol Guldur? Turns out it was Sauron. Gandalf is like, that's fucking Saruman. That is fucking Sauron, I'm telling you now. And then Saruman's like, here, you're fucking having that, you're pulling my pud. It transpires that it is indeed Sauron, and they all fight. And it ends, Christopher Lee's last line is like, leave Sauron to me. And it's like, oh, where's that gonna go? It goes into the Lord of the Rings. Because it's treason, isn't it? Greatest movie trilogy ever, all flawless movies. Even if you haven't read the books, yeah. Hobbit trilogy got really drawn out in parts 2 and 3. But I stayed till the end, was mystified. Billy Connolly, CGI, yeah. It just, even Peter Jackson at the time was like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing here. I've talked about this before, but there's like footage of him on the set, just like sitting in an elven ruin, like. Yeah, he's totally lost. And he got super fucking sick as well. He had like cancer and stuff at the time, and it's like, look, people coming to him saying, here, what fabric do you want for fucking Bilbo's fucking sash? What shape do you want Azog the Defiler's fucking blades? And he's like, I've got cancer. You know what I mean? It's like, what a fucking mindset. It's amazing they turned out as they did, because fucking hell. And because of that whole change, it was going to be Guillermo del Toro. I'll see you later, James. Thanks for dropping by. I can't show that video, but it's very good. If you go to James's channel, not that one. No, yeah, that one. You'll see the video that I left him a note at Disneyland. It's class. It was a very nice thing for me to do. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so Hobbit was originally going to be by Guillermo del Toro, who I love, and well, that would have been class. But then that didn't happen, so they had to quickly, like, Jackson was like, alright, I'll fucking do it. I'll get back in the Tolkien saddle and get it started. But a lot of that film, I think, because of that time constraint and all of that shit, even more so than the first films, is all blue screen and green screen, and I know like Ian McKellen like broke down on set and was like crying, and there's like footage of him in like a green. It looks like he's in the construct from the Matrix. Everything's green, and there's like a Bilbo's head on a stick, and he's like starts crying because he's like, this isn't what I became an actor for, you know what I mean? But those original films, fucking love them. And yeah, the 4Ks. If you haven't seen the 4K Blu-rays, Peter Jackson, when it was COVID, because he had nothing to do, he was like, let's get them remaster them fucking Lord of the Rings. And for the most part, they're alright. They did some extremely heavy noise reduction on them, so that the older films match with the Hobbit films, which anytime that happens is always a disaster, because they basically pulled all of the grain out, and mostly it's alright, but some scenes are fucking unbelievable. Like, it looks like fake as fuck. It looks like an AI generated image. It's so smooth, and it's like none of the details resolve. And like, you know, the white staff that Gandalf has, that's got like a lattice thing at the top like that, because it's so finely detailed, when he's walking, the digital noise reduction tries to paint it out, so the top of his staff disappears and stuff. It's like, fucking hell. They did fix the colour grade though, because they were quite green. Not Matrix green. That should be green. They were quite green. Alright, Big Shark, we're just talking about Lord of the Rings and shit. And the 4K transfers that are like... So it's a shame that they pulled all the grain out. Otherwise, it's obviously it's a very crisp image. The colour grade, as I say, they've fixed, so it now looks how it should look. Sound is reference quality, very good. But yeah, in fact, I took a screenshot because I couldn't believe how bad it looked. This is the worst. I'll show you it. This is the worst frame from the whole Lord of the Rings 4K thing. This is a raw screen grab. It's obviously been converted to SDR. It's when Eowyn is stood on the top of Edoras and the flag tears off and flies. The whole thing looks like a fucking AI generation. It's so disgusting. I think that's a bit fucking big. I mean, you can see there. Look at that. This is a close up. We're talking Tolkien, yeah. Let's make it a bit smaller. This is a 4K image. Right, look at that. You won't be able to get the full effect. It's... Can you see how everything looks waxy and everything's been blurred out? It was that kind of better when it was that big. Like, look at these mountains. You can't see the mountains. Like, underneath the flag and above that spire, it's just all... Every layer of grain has just been pulled out of it. The people in the little well down the bottom look like fucking... It looks like it's been upskilled with AI, but it hasn't. They've just DNR'd it so much. That's about as bad as it ever looks, fortunately. But a lot of the Return of the King looks bad as well. It's a fucking shame. But there you go. If I leave that there, I'll show you some other ones as well that I did. Some of the better looking bits. Here's a cool shot of Chris Lee. All of the stuff in Fellowship is probably the one that looks the best. Two Towers, like I say, has a little occasional bit, particularly around those scenes of Edoras that look really fucking waxy. And a lot of the Return of the King stuff is really bad. It's because when they've pulled all the grain off it as well, it kind of loses... Like, it was the grain that almost tied all of the effects together. Like, on Lord of the Rings. Alright, see you later, Spencermus. Thanks for dropping by. The miniatures are obviously Weta's work. Class. The sets that they built, class. The actors' costumes, class. Even like the early sort of digital backdrops that they created, class. But it's the way they've all been composited together that kind of looks a bit shit. And it's even more apparent when they've pulled all the grain out, because it's like anytime an actor is filmed against like a blue screen or a fake sky, they've got massive blurring around them, and it looks like it just, yeah, it doesn't. And the little the early animated characters, you know, was it called Massive? When they built them, they wrote the code so that they could have hundreds of thousands of Uruk-hai on screen, and all the little digital actors that they would add, they stand out even more. Even though Peter Jackson says they upscaled them all, like 2K source instead of the original. The Balrog looks fucking good. Some of the bigger stuff looks good, the trolls and shit. But it's the compositing of all the elements coming together, the bigatures, the backdrops, the characters on green screen. It looks fucking worse than it's ever done. See you later, Ricky Dicky. Thanks for dropping by. What else have I got? That fucking tape stop. Here's just a cool shot of the King of the Dead. It's Bit spooky, innit, for Halloween. Huh? Wait, could you even see that picture of Sauron that I just had up? Saruman, excuse me. Oh, fuck it. Fucking everyone's leaving now. Alright, see you later, Jurassic Collectibles. I'll watch this tomorrow, sir. Great chatting with you all. Yeah, nice one. Thanks for stopping by. I've said that for everyone. Alright, Brian Funt. Says he saw it. Nice one. So, like I say, a lot of stuff. I always felt like the way that it was with Peter Jackson was he paid a lot of attention to the villains and the evil stuff and the Sauron and stuff, because that's kind of where his heart is. He's a monster kid, isn't he? He likes all that stuff. And that's the case is the same with this, because like all of this spooky stuff looks class. The Witch King getting his helmet put on and the armour in Minas Morgul all looks great. Saruman looked rough, yeah. But the King of the Dead looks pretty fucking good in 4K. Oh shit. Check that out. The way is shut. His voice, the audio was fucking top notch, I have to say. Proper booming. That laugh he does when his face turns like this. It was built, what does he say? It was built by those who are dead, and the dead keep it. The way is shut. And then he like laughs. He's like, but it changes into like a growl. Fucking class, man. How does Helm's Deep look? Fine. That whole sequence is class. I think because it's night time and the rain and it helps it all. That bit's always looked mint. Like I say, it's probably the best versions of the films that we have, but everyone was hoping that he would totally fix the problems with the Blu-rays, and he's fixed the problems that they had, but introduced some more. But I've heard talk that he was going to release like a 25th or whatever, well, not 25th, but an anniversary edition that is like even more deleted scenes. And people are like, that'll be it's just changed to now it's like, instead of the 4Ks, they'll be the ones that fix everything. Now it's the 25th anniversary editions with the extra stuff, the extended editions, they'll fix everything. It's like, you know what I mean? You're chasing a white whale. Trying to find some of the bad screenshots, but I can't fucking find any. That's the end of the Hobbit Fellowship, I think. Aragorn says, "What say you?" Yes. Fulfill your oath to me. Fucking class that. Now, the other thing I would say about that is, everyone goes on about the extended editions being the best versions of the film, and I would agree. But on a rewatch, like, there's a lot of fucking comic relief with Gimli that they can take out. Like in that whole scene when they go to see the King of the Dead, and like they're walking in the mist, there's so many gags with Gimli, and it just kills the fucking tension. Like there's a bit when there's weird wispy hands trying to grab him, and it's quite a cool scene. But there's like they sit on this fucking gag of Gimli trying to blow it away. It's like going like that. And then he's doing this. And it's like, if you did it once, it would have been funny, but it goes fucking on, and it's like 3 minutes of him blowing these fucking misty things. And then there's a bit when it's like, Aragorn's like, don't look down. And then obviously he does. Beneath the mist, there's all bones. And again, it just goes on too long, and Gimli's like got his axe, and he's like walking like that. And and every time he steps it goes. But it's like, it goes on too fucking long. Like, you could have cut all of that shit. That's the one thing I would have cut from the extended editions, is that. Because you're supposed to be feeling the spookiness of this place, and you've got Gimli acting like a fucking clown. But anyway, otherwise, it's a good fucking scene. Yeah, there'll be loads of fucking fan cuts of the Lord of the Rings. I mean, that's an undertaking, that. Cutting all them fuckers together. He's been a small goal. Sound on this bit as well, right before the big green spiral shoots up. That's fucking, oh, that's class. That even on my shitty speakers, I was like, what? When he's walking up to the thing, Frodo's like in a trance, walking up, you can see his point of view, and it's the generals and shit. And then there's like a screaming sound, and it like goes and silence, and you see this big fucking green beam. And it's that big that Merry and Gandalf fucking see it from Minas Tirith, and they're like, class. Class. And then the music's like, comes in. So good. So there you go. Big Shark says, one thing I dislike is how Boromir doesn't even use his shield. Play that come again. Doesn't even use his shield at any point during the forest fight. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? He's got that big massive shield, doesn't make any attempt to deflect any arrows. I think he's a bit too focused on the hand-to-hand with the other Uruk-hai to protect the hobbits, isn't he? Blurt is far off in the distance with a... Also, there may be an aspect of him wanting to... He kind of wants to regain his honour, having tried to take the ring. So he's like, I'm going to give my life knowingly. So maybe he wants to die, because he's like, I'm going to regain my honour and die and take my place with honour in the afterlife. Brian Front says there still has a concept outlook to it. Yeah, it does. It's a good shot of Minas Morgul. Which eventually is his undoing, yeah. Class scene that though, that's a tearjerker, that. Boromir's death. It's like, I would have followed you, my captain, my king, it's Northern. And Mortensen's, Viggo is tearing up, beautiful. But those films are great. But like I say, I'd never seen the 4Ks before, so I got them ripped, got them checked out. And they're pretty fucking good. They have some issues, but they're alright. You still get the fucking experience, don't you? Not as good as the Matrix 4Ks. Haha. That was the whole thing, wasn't it? Little tweet. Bit of a hit tweet situation. I posted a comparison of the 35mm of the Matrix and the 4K remaster of that film, which fares a lot better than the Lord of the Rings. But again, is that was a whole different kettle of fish. Could have one arrow, could have it shot out of his hand, or he loses it. Yeah. Yeah, I think he does. He has it the whole way through. He doesn't drop it, does he? The horn. You never see the horn of Gondor get split in half either, but it does. It's just one shot. It's there, whole. The other shot, it's not. I think they put a sound in to make it sort of sound like it happens, but it's just sort of flopping around. I used to think that was a movie mistake. I was like, wait, it's. And then I saw the other films and was like, oh, it's supposed to be bisected. Hey, look, who's this? Can you see that? I was surprised the 35mm didn't look green in the Matrix scenes. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not a good copy. That's why I was hoping for someone to make a better scan, because it fucking didn't look like that in the pictures. It was green. The Matrix has always been green. This is what I said on Twitter and on the Matrix subreddit as well, which I thought I would get shit for, but they seem to agree. So, how else are you supposed to know you're in the Matrix if it's not tinged green? Yeah, man. The whole story of it is, when the Wachowskis and Bill Pope, the cinematographer, shot the film in 1999 or 8, whatever the fuck it was, they consciously decided to make it look and feel like a simulation, like a sickly, like artificial look for the scenes within the Matrix. And they all agree that green was the perfect colour for that. Is the phosphor of a green computer screen, the text. You know, we all know what those 80s computers look like. That whole thing. And so, on the set, they incorporated the artificial vibe. Stuff was green. The costumes that the agents wear are actually green. Like, that's not. They didn't add that in post. The suits are green. Agent Smith's is more black, than the other two, but they are green suits. The sets were green. You know, there's a lot of grids as well incorporated into the design on the walls. It's all very structured, like a computer system. It's on grids. The floors, tiles are all grids. If you notice that, it's green and it's grids. And Bill Pope even shot with some green filters on the lens. So they actually shot it with green filters on the lens. That's before they've even colour timed the film and added more fucking green. But then where something went wrong is when they've released the film on DVD and VHS. For some reason, it ended up being very, very muddy and like warm. It was way too, like, they took all of the green out and all of the colour in general, and everything had this white, this bland wash of brown and fucking green, yellow. And it was like, I don't know if it was an error or if somebody saw the green in the film print and was like, that was a mistake and pulled that out. I don't know what happened. But then when they put out the Blu-rays and the 2004 DVDs, which is the middle one on that comparison, it says 2008 Blu-ray, but it was also first the DVDs in the Ultimate Collection. They added too much fucking green back in, so that it was even more fucking jarring. And it washed out all the fucking skin tones, as you can see. Everything is green. That picture of the Oracle, she's fucking green, her hair's green. Everything is tinged green. And then the 4Ks come out, and it's still got the green scenes in the Matrix as it should have, but flesh tones are intact, lips are pink, whites are still mostly white. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's the best it's looked. Some people were arguing that the other stuff in the real world at the top, Neo coming out the fetus thing, is maybe now a bit too of a similar value. It's a bit too blue, like he doesn't separate from the background as much. But if you look at that scene, it would be fucking blue. It wouldn't be warm. It'd be cold and spooky and misty. And so my argument is that the 4Ks are probably the best. They're certainly, in terms of clarity and crispness, the best the films have ever looked. Matrix, very experimental. Real puke green. Yeah. They just went too green. They overcorrected the DVDs and the VHS. But yeah. But again, those films fucking look fucking top notch now. In 4K. Shit, man. See if I've got any more. took some more like full frames. Because it is the green, it's still green, but it's shifted more towards like the teal range of hues, which is still totally like it still works for artificial computer, whatever the fuck. Like it is, for example, this is in the real world. Like look how there's no hint of green there because it's not in the Matrix. It's blue. It's very steely blue colours. With a bit of soft fucking red lighting coming up. I think this is from Revolutions, so maybe shouldn't be using that as an example. But yeah, man, there you go. Did you like Resurrections? Not really. I really tried to like it, and I watched it about fucking 10 times over the course of a week. And while there was stuff that I liked about it, I couldn't get on board with the meta stuff. It was too much. It was like you can be as meta as you want, and you can make commentary on all of the stuff you want to make commentary on. But the film should still be fun. You know what I mean? The film should still be good, and some scenes are. But for the most part, I didn't like it. Those films work as a compact trilogy of there's the beginning, there's the end. Beautiful. It didn't need this epilogue of Neil Patrick Harris talking about social media and stuff. Fuck off. I thought it was quite dreadful. Yes, a lot of it is. Like, fuck, man. Fucking hell. But Lana Wachowski was like, Warner Brothers literally emailed me and said, if you don't make this, we're going to make it without you. So you might as well write something. And I think that was the problem, is like, she was under the fucking knife. She was under the gun. So, like, the previous to this, the first 3 films, they'd had the whole lives growing up reading comics, watching Hong Kong action films to brew this fucking perfect idea of a film. Resurrections comes along and they're saying, here, make this film for us next year, write it now, or we're going to do it ourselves. So she's like, well, fuck, you know what I mean? So you can't really blame her for what happened. Like, well, you can, and I do, but it was weird. It comes to Matrix, yeah. It's quite the threat one, but man, they wanted that moneymaker back. It was the first Matrix was their most profitable film ever for Warner Brothers when it came out. Like, yeah, she was held at gunpoint to make it. It's like, it could have been worse. It could have been fucking way worse, or just not. I don't know. I don't think the idea of a Matrix 4 could ever have been very good, let's be honest. It was never going to be fucking like the first 3, so I don't know. I liked bugs, and I liked the synthients and the machines working with the humans, and I liked that there was a machine against machine battle and the peace broke down, and I liked that it didn't contradict anything from the online game, and I liked, you know, like Morpheus was dead as he is in the game and shit like that. That felt like, oh, they're actually paying attention to the established lore here. Like, she's remembered that they wrote stuff for the online fucking game from like 2004. But then so much, the rest of it was just like, fuck, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Neil Patrick Harris talking about the bot bombs. It's sick fun. He's like that. It's sick fun. He says that in a film. Get that fucking away from my movies, you know what I mean? And the Agent Smith clone, that was dog shit. Mr. Anderson. Hugo Weaving on now. Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne on now. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know. But we'll always have the original films. And even if you don't like the other two films, because some people will just like, I only like the first one, because that is the best one. I love them all, but if you already like, even if you don't like them, you know, you can grasp that they're a better fucking thing. They're a better thing product than Resurrections was, in my opinion. Right, we're coming up on nearly the 3 hour mark. Well, we're not. But unless I can think of anything else to fucking talk about, I'm going to call it there. I'll have a little browse to Twitter, see if we can like talk shit on people. No, I don't do that. Fucking Twiz. Fucking shit. Now. It's kind of always been shit, but now it's fucking egregious. Let's check the news, see if there's been an update on the tree. Don't think there's any update. It's all a bit of a big joke, but like seriously, I can't believe that fucking tree is gone. It's fucked up. Oh, that's the latest development. Some member of the public, some geezer was like, I'll take a sapling, sycamore, and I'll make my little pilgrimage up to the site and I'll plant it next to the one. So he took a fucking spade and a sapling tree, dug a hole, planted a sycamore tree sapling. That's like a couple of feet high. It's not tiny. Put a little trellis up for it, metal thing around it and all that, and was like, there we go, how cute is that? No, stop fucking about at that place. Like, I know he means well, and the National Trust have now taken it out and pulled it all out, and everyone's saying, oh, you can't, he's just trying to be nice. It's like, you can't fuck with that. It's protected. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site or whatever the fuck. You can't be doing anything there. Like, what he's done is kind of, it's also a fucking act of vandalism. Like, you can't just take a spade and start digging up that fucking land. So the latest news is that this cunt is like, he's devastated. A man who planted a sapling near the felled Sycamore Gap tree said he was devastated that National Trust bosses had removed it. He installed the tree meters from the site of Hadrian's Wall, which is an ancient Roman ruin, by the way. You can't just fucking go and fuck about with it. To restore hope. It's kind of a bit of a sickly sweet kind of thing to do anyway, in my opinion. I mean, I know he means well, but officials said they had to remove it because of the site's UNESCO World Heritage status. Yeah, I agree with them. You can't go and fucking plant trees next to the fucking Roman wall. Daft cunts. What were you thinking they were going to do? Kieran. Big Shark says, you think Will Smith Morpheus being as iconic as Lawrence Fishburne. No, Will Smith. Will Smith was going to be Neo, not Morpheus. The original casting for Neo was going to be Will Smith. I don't know who they were going to have as Morpheus. I don't think Smith was ever going to be Morpheus. He was definitely Neo, but then they went with Keanu, and they made the right choices for it. Will Smith would have been. He probably would have done a good job. Welcome. It'll be like that. Welcome to the Matrix. Welcome. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. It'd be like, keep my. What could he say? Will Smith in the Matrix. He'd be like, keep my Trinity's name out your fucking mouth, and like that. Fucking walks up to fucking Smith, slaps the fucking code out of him. You know what I mean? That'd have been shite. Brian Funt says, could I invite you to talk about Alien versus Predator? You can by all means invite me, but I would take that and give it back to you. No. What do you want to talk about? Aliens versus Predator, what, the films? Back when I was a kid and they came out, that first film came out, I was like, this is the greatest thing to ever happen. Alien fucking versus Predator. How can a young kid not fucking be like, yes? And I was. So much so that I was like, I got a dodgy copy and it was like black and white for the first 30 minutes. And I watched it on my little TV with a built-in LE. And then I got older and reassessed. They're not good. I mean, they have some moments of fun and they're alright as a laugh. But they're not good films. The second one's even worse. God. So that's my opinion on Alien vs Predator. As a concept, it should never have left the comics, to be honest, or the games. The games are great. Big Shark says it'd be like if you planted that tree. It's like going to Rome and start breaking the Colosseum. Yeah, it's just like these places. Although he thought he was doing right, it's essentially the same as the cunt that chopped it down. You can't be fucking with these places. I'm going to turn that off. I can either hear the VCR whirring and it might chew that tape up. And it's the original tape, so I don't want it to fuck it up. So we'll put Michael Jackson to rest now. We'll put Thriller to rest. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Funky fucking beat that. Dun 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 dun. John Landis, he decapitated those two children. Did you hear about that? And his son's a fucking arsehole. Fuck's sake. He was never found responsible for the deaths. Let's just leave it as that. I don't like him. Especially not like if you ever seen he released this book called it's a big fucking coffee table book called Monsters in the Movies, and it's in terms of just a big book of monsters and wizards and evil ghosts and skeletons and Draculas and every monster you can ever think of going through the cinema history is represented, and it's class, but he gets a lot of these facts wrong. And like he puts so much of he should have just been like objective about it, but he puts so much of his own fucking opinions into it. Like, I can't think of an example, but like he says, like for example, it'd be like, I don't know, like here's Jurassic Park, it'll be a picture of the T-Rex, and it'll be like the captions. It's always the captions that he saves to be his most snarky, and it'd be like the T-Rex in Spielberg's '93 Jurassic Park. Not quite as good as the dinosaurs represented in and he'll say some older film, and it's like, you don't need to fucking make that little remark. And half of the stuff is wrong, like the dates of the films, the titles of the films, like what I said about Saruman. Christopher Lee is Sauron. It's like, no, he's fucking Saruman, you dick. And that whole attitude is what he exudes, and I can't be doing with it. This fucking done. But he can. American Werewolf is a very good film. So he can't be all bad, can he? Where's his fucking tape? You heard Thriller without the music? Nah. What? Thriller without the music? What is that? Just like all that stuff. The Michael Jackson noises. Isolated Michael Jackson squeals. The tape, even the tape looks pretty cool, doesn't it? There you go. (1983). It's older than me, this. Brian Fun says he kind of on about AVP. I kind of love how bad AVP is. Like the scene at the beginning where he's climbing and receives a phone call, and the guy's standing on the top of the cliff. What was that for? Oh yeah, I remember that. It's just kind of a, I don't know, it's a funny thing, isn't it? Yeah. Like the pyramid, like I don't like it on a lore level, the canon and all that shit. It's just not what it introduces is not to my tastes. But it's alright, it's just like a laugh. They're just not like they just lacks anything that made the first, like Alien or Predator, great. You know what I mean? It's not quite as good as either, is it? And I hate the design. It's the worst design of the Predators ever put to film. Those fucking massive quarterback built. I mean, I know it was Stan Winston. It wasn't. It was fucking Alec Gillis. It was Amalgamated Dynamics. It wouldn't normally fucking makes like great stuff, but the fucking suits are so bulky. Like the thing about the Predator is he's lithe. He can jump from tree to tree. He's athletic, he's lean and mean, you know what I mean? But the ones in that film are like fucking bulky as hell. Like it couldn't run 5 steps without getting out of breath. The size of the crew, and I don't like that. I don't think the faces look good. It has that perpetual problem of the mandibles having like rubbery. The flesh is all like curly, like where the latex or whatever it is like does that. Like they've never been able to get that right. Fucking shit. My favourite Predator is Predator 2. I fucking love Predator 2. Never got better either because they did the Predator and Prey, yeah. The Predator was, oh man, well, I don't know. Again, you can enjoy it, but shit. I quite like Prey. I know there was a lot of daftness in it, but I quite like Prey. And they're doing a sequel apparently. Prey 2's coming out. I don't know if it's going to be the same characters. I think that'd be kind of weird if she runs into the fucking Predator twice. Brian Funt says he actually liked Prey. To me, felt similar to the first film. Yeah, they kind of got it back to its roots somewhat. And now the fans have been dying for years to get like a more different historical settings where the Predator goes to Greece, the Predator goes to Viking times. So that was kind of cool. Although they did fuck up the law by giving she gives the Predator at the end gives her the gun, the flintlock pistol from Predator 2, and it's like, see how cute we're being. It's like, yeah, but you've just totally ruined the law, because that's not the canon. Is that was from a pirate or whatever the fuck, I can't remember. But the existing law was way cooler than just it was some French guys, you know what I mean? It's like, the Predator film before that was weirdly goofy. Yeah. It was Shane Black trying to trying to be funny with it. And I kind of like Shane Black. He's made some actually good stuff, and he was in the first Predator film, but it just didn't quite come together for that one. Predators has a lot of good stuff in it as well. It's not great, but it has a lot of some cool action scenes. It's got Lawrence Fishburne going back to the Matrix. I just could never buy Adrian Brody as being like a Schwarzenegger type. Stick to the Wes Anderson films. Right, we're at 3 hours now, so I'm going to call it there. Thanks for dropping by, folks. Once again, I'd like to invite you to remember the Sycamore from Sycamore Gap. Not Neo. Always in our hearts. Gone but not forgotten. And any other things that you want to say. Devastating loss to the northeast of England. We'll never get it back. And yeah, what is it to say? What is to say? Even like, not even joking. That tree's gone. That's it. Gone. Iconic landmark. Cultural touchstone of the community, taken from us. And yeah, it's fucking. You know, it's gone. Let's put that one up again. Look how loved the tree was. And it sounds silly to say it, but in some of the pictures it looks like it knows how loved it was. It looks like it knows how loved it was. Sycamore Gap, yeah, fucking I just can't. I just can't handle it. Fucking tree. I just want my fucking tree back. Like, fuck, man. Fucking Sycamore Gap is gone. What we're gonna do? The fucking community's left reeling. We're cut to pieces over this. And as somebody in the chat tonight rightly said, this is like 9/11 for the northeast. Let's get that fucking thing off. This is like 9/11 for the northeast here. Just like them towers ain't coming back. Our tree ain't coming back. Fucking get demo mode off. We're talking serious now. Fucking Sycamore Gap. How are you going to cut that down? How are you going to fucking cut that tree down? Look at it. Take a chainsaw to that tree. Let it collapse down and just be like, meh. Fuck's sake. I'm devastated about it. Like, how could you do such a thing? How could you do such a fucking thing? Let's fucking turn this off, like. Fucking shit, man. Like, I know it's only a tree, but like, we'll never be able to visit it again. You know what I mean? Like, how can someone do that? Fucking hell. I'm gutted about it. Don't be laughing in the chat about this. I'm bearing my soul. If the camera would focus, you'd see I've got real tears. Real tears. Only joking. Right, let's get this off. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by, people. Let's get the fucking music back on, man. So yeah, it's been a fun stream. We talked about Matrix, we talked about the tree, we talked about Lord of the Rings, we talked about what else did we talk about? Fucking Alien versus Predator and shit like that. I don't give a fuck. Hey, it's Halloween coming up. I might do another Halloween spooky stream. That'll be a laugh, won't it? We'll play a game. I'll get some stuff together. I've already got some ideas that I might do. When this video is up live, archived, I might put some links in the description at my Discord. I've made a Discord for the fucking fun of it. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Scorn, yeah, we'll play some Scorn. But it's 20 past 1 in the morning, so I'm going to bed, man. I'm going to fucking bed, like. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Big Shark. Thanks for being here. Turn this fucking shit off. Sycamore Gap, always in our hearts. Good night, God bless. We love you.